Welcome to the Dangers and Dragons podcast. Are you ready for a story?
Always.
Well, get ready for addictive drama, an epic internal quest, heartbreaking choices, and a legendary adventure. Oh, and did I mention a twist? Yeah, you won't see this one coming.
Sounds intense. I'm in.
We're diving into a tale that'll keep you hooked from that first clash of steel all the way to the very end, and trust me, you'll be left with some serious questions.
Ooh, I love a good lingering question.
Don't forget to rate and follow the Dangers and Dragons podcast to join us for more.
So what kind of adventure are we tackling today?
Today we're unpacking the story of a paladin and his brother, and buckle up because it's a wild ride.
Oh, family drama, always a good time.
Yeah.
Especially with paladins, those oaths get messy.
You said it. The sources we have paint a really vivid picture, mainly from the paladin's perspective. You really feel the weight of his choices.
That personal perspective is key. It's one thing to hear about abstract conflicts, but when you see it through someone's eyes, feel their struggles, it hits differently.
Right. You're not just observing, you're experiencing it with them. So let's get into it. The story opens on a battlefield. Pretty standard stuff, right? Armies clashing, banners waving, the whole 9 yards.
Classic fantasy setting. Can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned battle.
Exactly. But then, bam, the paladin sees something that turns his world upside down. It's not just any enemy banner, it's the crimson stag. The symbol of his childhood home, his family.
Whoa, that's rough. Talk about personal stakes. You can almost feel the air get sucked out of the scene. One minute it's just another battle, the next it's deeply, deeply personal.
Right. And it's even more intense because this paladin is famous. He's known as the Kingdom's Shield, this symbol of strength and loyalty. But facing his own brother, that title, everything he stands for, it feels like ash in his mouth.
That quote, ash in my mouth.
It's so powerful, It's not just sadness. It's like a complete loss of meaning. It makes you think about what happens when your duty clashes with your heart, with your family. Like, what do you do when the things you believe in turn to ash in your mouth because of the people you love? It's heartbreaking. And the way the sources describe the approaching armies, forget heroic charges and trumpets blaring. It's grim. Every single sound is like another nail hammered into the coffin of the boys they once were.
Man, that imagery is so heavy. It's not just about the physical battle. It's the death of their past, their brotherhood, every clang of armor, every shout. It's a reminder of what they've lost, of what they're destroying in that very moment.
And you've got this incredible contrast. I mean, here's a paladin whose oath is held strong against everything. A monstrous hordes, no problem. Sorcerer's fire, bring it on. But then fate throws this curveball, and suddenly his heart, well, it's not armored for this chilling twist.
It's almost like those classic hero stories, right? The hero faces all these external threats, dragons, demons, whatever. But the real test, it often comes from within. It's like, yeah, you can train for monsters, but how do you prepare for a battle against your own family, your own past?
Right. You can't exactly forge armor for your heart, can you? And it's just like the source says, born of the same blood, yet they stood not as brothers, but as symbols of a world torn asunder. This is the tragedy of civil war, laid bare, brother against brother.
Ugh, it's like the ultimate betrayal. The world splitting apart and the fault line runs right through a family.
Yeah.
It makes you think about all those historical conflicts, all the personal stories lost in the grand narrative of war. Like, how many families have been ripped apart by these bigger forces?
It's heavy stuff. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because the brother, he's not just some power-hungry villain, twirling his mustache and cackling.
Yeah, those one-dimensional baddies are getting old.
Right. His motivations are complex, his charge is calculated, strategic, and it's fueled by this desperate, twisted kind of love for their land. He genuinely believes his birthright was stolen and that he's doing what's right.
So it's not just blind ambition or hatred, it's this warped sense of justice, almost like he's convinced he's the hero of his own story.
Exactly. And from his perspective, the paladin, the kingdom's shield, he's the obstacle. The very things that make the paladin a hero to the kingdom, his loyalty, his righteousness, are the chains the brother's trying to break.
It's like their roles are reversed almost. You start to see the conflict from both sides, and it's not so black and white anymore. It's a lot more gray, a lot more tragic.
So much gray. And then the battle itself, it's described in such a haunting way. The clash of steel. Forget epic soundtracks and heroic anthems. It's a dirge, a mournful lament for everything they've lost.
Wow, yeah, you can almost hear it, right? The clang of swords echoing with sorrow instead of triumph. Like every parry is a silent plea, every strike a betrayal, not just of the oath, but of their shared history.
Ugh, I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
And even the setting, the battlefield itself, it's not some nameless, faceless place. It's loaded with meaning. The mud beneath our feet was the same earth where we'd raised his children.
That's a gut punch right there. It's like all the fighting, all the bloodshed, it's happening on the very ground where they played as kids. Talk about a reminder of what's been lost. Like, this whole conflict is literally trampling on their shared past.
And then the way it ends. It's not some glorious duel, some climactic showdown. It's brutal, sudden, almost random. An archer, no doubt seeing only warring lords, loose the arrow that ended not a war, but the echo of what we had been.
That's war for you, right? Chaotic, unpredictable. You can have all these grand narratives, these personal struggles, and then it all comes down to a random arrow. It really drives home the pointlessness of it all, how fragile life is.
And the way the sources describe the brother's death, it's just heavy. His armor, the very thing that was supposed to protect him, it clattered to the ground with the finality of a tombstone.
Wow, that image is so vivid. It's like in that moment, all his ambition, his anger, his pain, it all just disappears. All that's left is this empty shell of armor.
And the Paladin. He doesn't stand over his brother like a conqueror. He cradles him. Not a victor's pose, the source says, but that of a child cradling a fallen friend. It's a powerful moment of grief, stripped of all the political drama.
You really feel the weight of that loss, right? All the anger, the resentment, it all fades away, and it's just pure grief. Like, in the end, they're not enemies, they're just brothers, and one of them is gone.
And the brother's last words? Kingdoms, dust. Just a whisper, but it's loaded with regret, like he's finally seeing the futility of it all.
That's the thing about death, right? It has a way of stripping away all the pretense, all the grand ambitions, kingdoms, power. It all turns to dust in the end. What really matters, it's the connections, the people we love.
And for the Paladin, the victory is completely hollow. He's surrounded by cheering, but all he feels is this crushing silence of loss. It's like, what's the point of winning when you've lost everything that mattered?
It's that classic bittersweet victory, right? You achieve the goal, but at what cost? It makes you question the whole idea of heroism. Like, what makes a hero? Is it upholding your oath no matter the cost? Or is there something more to it?
And it's interesting because the official story, the ballads and songs, they paint a very clear picture. You know, the brave Paladin, the villainous brother. But the Paladin knows the truth is much more complicated. Those ballads, he calls them brittle things.
Oh, I love that. Brittle things. It's like the official story is so clean, so simple, but it can't hold the weight of the real story, the nuance, the pain.
And that pain doesn't go away. It follows him, haunts his dreams. But it's not the warlord brother that appears. It's the boy he grew up with, the one who showed him kindness.
That's a powerful image, right? It's like even in his dreams, he can't escape the past, the memory of their bond before the war, before everything went wrong. It's like a constant reminder of what he's lost.
And that silent question in his brother's eyes. What is a kingdom worth when built on a brother's blood? It's a question that the Paladin can't escape, that undermined everything he believes in.
That's a question for all of us, isn't it? Like, what are we willing to sacrifice for power, for ideology? Is there ever a justification for spilling blood, especially the blood of those closest to us?
It's a heavy question. The source tells us the battlefield may fade, but the memory of his brother's eyes, filled with a warped love and sorrow, remains an unhealing scar. It's a wound that goes deeper than any sword could reach.
It's a reminder that some wounds, they just don't heal, no matter how much time passes. Like, you can win the battle, achieve your goals, but that doesn't mean the pain goes away.
So here he is, the Paladin, his armor gleaming, his oath unbroken. But every victory, it's tainted now. It's all overshadowed by that silent question.
It's like, what's the point of all those victories, all that sacrifice, if it leaves you with a broken heart haunted by the ghosts of your past?
Right. He is the kingdom's shield, a hero to everyone else. But, like the source says, what victory can shield a heart split in two, haunted by the ghost of a love sacrificed on the altar of duty? It's a powerful ending, and it leaves us with a lot to think about.
It really does. What is the true cost of duty? Can any victory truly be celebrated when it demands such a personal sacrifice? It's a question we might all grapple with at some point in our lives.
This story is a stark reminder that even in the grand narratives of kingdoms and heroes, the most devastating battles are often fought within the human heart. We encourage you to reflect on the weight of oaths, the complexities of loyalty, and the true meaning of sacrifice.
And join us next time on the Dangers and Dragons podcast for another journey into captivating tales and legendary adventures.
Don't forget to rate and follow the show.
See you next time.